I'm Sam,
And this is Gabe.
and this is Coaster Wars.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Coast Wars podcast, where today we have, well, I was going to say the first special episode of the season, but technically it's the third one.
Yeah, technically.
We'll call it the first. Nobody will notice. All right, we have our first special episode of the third season of our podcast. Boy, have we come a long way, haven't we?
Yeah, we really have. I was looking back at some of our episodes, and it tells you how long ago you published them.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't think we'd be doing it this long, to be honest.
No, this is fun though. I'm having fun. We're having a great time.
Exactly.
And also, we managed to get on 100+ new roller coasters over the summer.
Yes.
It is by far on record as the biggest roller coaster summer of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, our top 15s have changed quite a bit. Now, it's always funny, though, when you look at these, because there's always your coasters that never go anywhere, that always stay on that, their spot. But then there is a lot of new faces, especially, I think yours has even changed more than mine has.
Uh-huh.
And it's just, it's interesting to look back and see where we are in today's world of all of our roller coaster credits. Both of us are over 200 now, right?
Yep. I have
So this
235, I think.
Yeah, so these are top 15s out of over 200+ roller coasters that we've been on. The one thing I would like to say, though, at the beginning of this, there isn't a lot of coasters that are just outside of at least my top 15 that are just insanely good. This was very hard. This is a very difficult thing for me to do. There are coasters that I said to myself have to be in my top 15 no matter what. And there are some that very, very well surprised me when I actually started slotting them in. And so it just makes it for a very interesting little thing to look at here. That being said, if you see a coaster not on my top 15 that I have ridden, either it just didn't stand out for me the same way it probably did for you, or it is literally just outside the cut.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at this point, we're taking the top, 2% of our entire credit list. So like I said, at the end of the day, we're splitting hairs here. You know what I mean? So don't be offended, don't be upset. This is all just for fun. Once again, roller coaster opinions are at the end of the day just opinions. So you could just say I'm wrong. Honestly, that's probably true. So with that, Sam, do you have anything else to say before we introduce our top 15s here?
I was just going to say that basically I wait for you to make your top 15 and then I copy it.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah. Because
you still have some that are like, I could count 1, 2, 3.
I do have some moved around.
Yeah, you do have some moved around as well.
So I don't directly copy him, but I find it so hard to sit down and pick a top 15 that I'm like, I'm going to see what Gabe did and just kind of go for that.
She just copies me, guys.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do yours first then?
Sure.
Yours first then?
What should I just say the names or what we doing here?
Yeah, I'd start at 15, just say the names. If there's any little thing you do want to say about the coaster or whatever, you can do that, but just kind of make this part a little short and sweet.
Okay. So at number 15, I have Cannibal, which is at Lagoon in Salt Lake City. I have Talon, which is at Dorney. Steel Curtain, which is at Kennywood. At number 13. Jesus. Number 12, I have The Legend at Holiday World. At number 11, I have Goliath at Great America. Number 10, I have Raging Bull, also at Great America. Number 9, Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point. Number 8, Ravine Fire 2 at Waldemere. Number 7, Sky Rush at Hershey Park. Number 6, Maverick at Cedar Point. Number 5, El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. Number 4, The Voyage at Holiday World. Number 3, Fury 325 at Carowinds. Number 2, Air Force One at Fun Spot Atlanta. And my number 1 roller coaster, Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park.
Very good roller coaster, by the way.
Uh-huh.
All right, my top 15. Sitting in at number 15, just barely making the cut, we have Magnum XL 200, which Sam commented and said, I'm apparently the leader of the Magnum cult now. I didn't
He
know how that
really
happened,
is
but
at this point. Let's be honest here.
number 14. Interesting that we both have inverts there. However, I slotted Montu in. Now, keep in mind that's a coaster Sam has not ridden,
Yep.
so that's part of it. Number 13, we have the Legend slotting in at Holiday World. Number 12, we have Raging Bull at Great America. Number 11, we have Goliath at Great America. Number 10, we have the Ravine Flyer 2 coaster, which both me and Sam absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Skyrush. Number 8 is Maverick. Number 7, we have El Toro. And the little comment that I was going to say is just because of its roughness. It's gotten really rough over the years. And obviously, mine and Sam's experience on it was good, but rough.
Yep.
Number 6, I slot in Top Thrill 2. Number 5, we have Fury 325. Number 4, we have my all-time favorite wooden coaster, The Voyage. Number 3, we have Air Force One. Number 2, we have Wildcat's Revenge. And standing at the number 1 spot, my top 15, which has been there since we started this podcast.
Uh-huh.
Iron Gwazi.
Yes. So we slightly different, but we do also have some similarities. And I also want to point out that our number 4s are the same, which, funny enough, I think the first time we did our top 15s, our number 4s were the same as well. They were both Maverick.
Was it Maverick? Yeah. Well, apparently we think great minds think alike.
Right.
All right. Do you want to go first, or ask me, or you want to go first?
I'll go first. My first question is, why is Iron Gwazi your number 1?
Iron Gwazi. So when we talk about roller coasters, there's a lot of different ways you can judge a roller coaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way I judge Iron Gwazi is it is the absolute closest roller coaster to perfection I've ever been on. Mm-hmm. Now, every roller coaster in my top 15 has a knock to it. Magnum XL, it's uncomfortable. It's rough. Mm-hmm. It's slightly painful. El Toro, it's rough. Maverick, it's getting a little old and slow. I don't know. Yeah. Skyrush, it's the restraint system. Mm-hmm. Even the new restraints are okay at best. Ravine Flyer 2, it's just not tall enough, not big enough. The location, it's hard to access. Goliath is starting to get a little, rough with its age. The Voyage, it has to be retracked every year. The Voyage is about as close to perfection as a wooden coaster can get. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so far high up. And then obviously, with Wildcat's Revenge, some would say it's a little too intense. Air Force mm-hmm. One just quite doesn't have the really good first drop that I like to have in my, like I'm saying, all these coasters in my list, I can go, yeah, there's definitely something there that I either have an issue with or just a little knock on the coaster. When I look at Iron Gwazi, I can't think of a single thing on that roller coaster that I go, yeah, that's a problem. Like, it is that good. It is that good of a roller coaster. The element package, the pacing, the first drop, the inversions, the airtime, the positive G is just everything about that roller coaster is about as close to perfection as you can get, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, I also rolled the coaster when it was like 98 degrees out in Florida. So I got to experience it at its peak. And its peak is better than any other roller coaster on this planet that I've been on. So.
Dang. All right. What's your question?
My question to you. So both of us hold Wildcat's Revenge over Air Force One. I want to know why you hold it, Wildcat's Revenge over Air Force One.
I think with that one, it is the super intense pacing. So Air Force One has good pacing. That is not a problem there. But in the beginning, it has the super drawn out, beautiful inversions. Personally, I really like the snappy pacing, the really fast, intense pacing that is Wildcat's Revenge. And it has a very good first drop. It has really good forces. It has good airtime. It all around is a really great ride experience. And it's like Air Force One is at 2. I just liked Wildcat's Revenge better. And then this is just a personal note for me. It is my 100th credit. So That's like a little tidbit. I also really like the trains too. The trains are cool with
Yeah, they
the.
do have very good trains. It's a very pretty coaster to look at, Last
Oh,
Night's
it's
Revenge.
beautiful.
Even Air
So
Force One, though, is a very beautiful coaster to look at as
yes.
well.
Well, and what's funny about these two coasters is I had Air Force One above Wildcats Revenge, and then this is one of the ones that moved up in my rankings because we got to ride it in 90-degree heat, and oh my gosh, does that make a world of difference? So it was like I don't even know how much faster it was, but it just made it so much more intense. It was absolutely crazy. So, and then it's at Hershey Park, which is a really accessible park and stuff like that too. So,
Yeah. All right. What is your next question, Samantha?
sorry, I had to cough. My next question is so Gabe had his top 15, and I don't remember where Top Thrill 2 was before, but he changed it, and I'm pretty sure it moved up. So, what about Top Thrill made it move up in your rankings when you changed it?
Top Thrill 2. So we did our episode on Top Thrill 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more I thought about it, this is not necessarily because I thought Top Thrill 2 was really, 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 really good. This has to do more with Maverick, I think. So I originally always said Maverick was like my favorite coaster at Cedar Point. I've said that
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. I don't know. Our re-rides on it this past summer, it just didn't have that same pop to it.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, it felt like it wasn't running quite as good. And Top Thrill 2 absolutely blew me out of the water. I think the other thing this has to do with is how much Top Thrill 2 surprised me. And just the overall ride experience I had on this roller coaster. The more and more I thought about it, I'm like, I have to move Top Thrill 2 up. I just remember getting off the roller coaster and just being absolutely like euphoric almost. Like I was so thrilled by Top Thrill, pun intended. Um that it, it's one of those coasters that's like my experience on Iron Gwazi is fried in my brain. I will never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
My first time riding Top Thrill 2 and just the absolute happiness this roller coaster gave me is absolutely fried in my brain. And the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, I love Maverick. Maverick's essentially everything I love about roller coasters, but I just didn't have the same. It just didn't feel okay. This is gonna be weird to say, but when we went and rewrote it, it didn't feel as nostalgic as the last time I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to explain that. The other part of it too is our very last ride on Maverick before our rerides this summer was like the most perfect roller coaster experience ever. We were like the last ride of the day. The sun was setting. You had that
Uh-huh.
little gleam off the lake. It was just a very orange, picturesque, like perfect way to end your day. We also got Sam's phone back, so that was a positive. Like just the
Yeah.
whole experience was a little like like movie like
Yep.
I don't know, it was just like a perfect way to end the day. And then our rewrites on Maverick this year just didn't have that same thing, and I think honestly it's just because of how perfect that experience was that obviously getting on it again, it just wasn't going to feel quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I think Top Thrill 2. Yeah, the other thing too is at the end of the day, I'm a speed junkie. It don't get much faster than 120 miles per hour. I mean, come
No.
on.
Yep.
Not to say Maverick's 70-mile-per-hour launch isn't just as good, but we like the top speed on Top Thrill. So
Yes. It reminds me, me and you really, really liked Mystic Timbers when we first rode Mystic Timbers. And
yes,
when we got a rewrite on it, as you can see, it dropped out of both of our top 15s. So unfortunately, our rewrite on it was not as good.
I
And
think I
go
think
ahead.
the thing that we discovered is we actually prefer gravity grip roller coasters over GCIs. And I think that's really because before when we rode Mystic Timbers, it was like the first modern roller coaster we've really been on. I mean, realistically speaking, other than Hades 360, which is its own experience all on its own, it really was like the first modern wooden roller coaster we ridden. And so we were like blown away by it. And then after a while, as we got our, credit count up and stuff, we started riding more gravity groups. We started riding more GCIs. It just felt a little more eh.
Yep.
The last
Yeah.
time we were there. The other thing too, I will like to mention is Kings Island was the very last park on our trip, and at that point we were just absolutely exhausted. I mean,
Uh-huh.
rightfully so. I think the one thing we learned about that trip is it was almost a little too much.
It really kind
And
of was.
so obviously at the end of that trip, we were very, very exhausted. So that might have jaded our opinion on it a little bit. But at the end of the day, Top Thrill 2 was the second to last park we went to, and now it sits at number 6 in my top 15. So that's just how good I think Top Thrill was. And I don't know. Like I said, I just you saw it too. Even when I got off that roller coaster, I was just absolutely I was giggling. I was literally giggling as we got off of Top Thrill 2. Like that
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
happen.
No,
like,
it does not. Not with Gabe.
like it was just so good. I just really, really enjoyed it. Just a fun ride experience, really.
Mhm. Alrighty, what's your question, Gabe?
Okay. Let me see here. I had a couple different ways I wanted to go with this. Let's talk about Cannibal. So Cannibal was a coaster that I did have in my top 15. Obviously, it dropped out for another very special roller coaster. But why would you slot that in at 15? And were there any other roller coasters that you were considering to slot in that spot? I feel like the 15 spot. Okay, another little interesting thing about building top 15s. You would think the number one spot would be the hardest one to fill. It's actually 15. There are
Mhm.
so many roller coasters when you get to the end that you want to put in that spot. You're like, oh my gosh, which one do I pick? So, two parts. Why is Cannibal in your top 15? And were there any other coasters you were considering for that spot?
So, first of all, with Cannibal, I really, really like the elevator lift. It's a very unique experience. We've technically had another elevator lift on what is that stinking roller coaster called Indiana Beach? It's like I always forget the name of
The
it.
Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain. The best name in the roller coaster business.
Absolutely. So, but of course, it's a much smaller roller coaster and such. So, Cannibals is obviously gigantic because it is a over 200-foot tall roller coaster. It has a beyond vertical drop, but when I say beyond vertical, I don't mean no 95 degrees. I mean, I believe it's like 113 degrees. So, you get really great like ejector, and then it's so long that you just float there too. And then the lagoon roll is absolutely crazy. You should not move that slowly through any inversion, and you do on this roller coaster. And then I really liked Cannibal, and it was a lot of fun to ride, and so I really liked the whole ride experience. But on the flip side, another coaster I was thinking about slotting in was actually the Iron Rattler. I really liked the Iron Rattler. And if you listen to our Trip Talks episode at the beginning of the season for Fiesta Texas, you Iron Rattler is we were talking about how it doesn't have an RMC soul. It has like its own soul. It's a very unique roller coaster. And part of that I do think comes from the fact that it had such a messed up roller coaster to build from. Again, plugging here our Son of Beast episode to list if you want to learn about the predecessor, just the Rattler. And so it was a very unique experience. We got a night ride, which was awesome on this thing. The drop is insane. The forces are crazy. The back section that wasn't quite as good when Gabe rode it got a lot better. The ejector is crazy. The dive off the quarry wall, the setting that it takes place in, the beautiful part that it's at. It was really I went back and forth about putting that as my number 15, and I think I ended up going with Cannibal because of the drop. So, but it's funny because now you're saying that, I'm like, I could almost switch it because I really
Yeah.
liked I really liked
You
the Iron
can.
Rattler.
That is allowed in this episode. We are allowed to change where these are at. This is to help us like solidify our top 15.
Okay,
So,
I'm totally doing that.
are you actually?
Yeah.
Well,
When
you
I
have to
think
announce
about
it
it,
now.
well, number 15, the Iron Rattler. I think when I think about Cannibal, I really like the drop in the lagoon roll, but that's all that stands out to me on that ride. And the elevator lift. The elevator lift is really cool, but that's kind of, a gimmicky part of the ride. So when I talk about Iron Rattler, I liked the whole experience, and we got really good rides on it. And we got to sit on it, which is just always awesome too. So,
Yeah, that is true.
all right. Thank you for helping me change that.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Yes. So my question, partly because I want to talk about this ride and because this is a difference between mine and yours lists, why did you put the Voyage over Fury?
Yes. So Fury 325 is a very, very good roller coaster. It's a very unique roller coaster. It's 325 feet. It is everything you want in a roller coaster. But the
Yes.
Voyage was just more intense, I felt like. Like when I was looking at the two roller coasters side by side, I'm like, Fury has every stat in the world. It's over 6,000 feet long. But the Voyage is actually technically longer. And I think my other thing with the Voyage is it takes everything that's wrong with Hades 360 and fixes it. Because we always loved Hades 360. It was always
We
a very
did.
good, very unique roller coaster. It's so rough. It's so rough. Another coaster I got to re-ride this summer, Hades 360. It's even worse than the last time I was
Oh,
on it. Either I'm older or the coaster's worse. I can't tell the
no.
difference. But
We've talked about this before. Mount Olympus realistically should not have roller coasters.
yeah, it really shouldn't. I got off of it though, and I had a very, very sore back, and I was just very upset. I'm like, this coaster could be a top 15 roller coaster if it just ran smoother and had better trains and had better ride ops. And that's what the Voyage does is it takes a Hades 360 and takes it out of the discount cheapest dirt cheap park in America and it throws it at a place like Holiday World where they care about the guests and they care about their roller coasters and they care about their rides. They treat the thing that I noticed about Holiday World is they treat their rides like people. Every year the Voyage is getting a section of free track, and it's just they're so much more well taken care of. The other difference between Hades 360 and the Voyage is the trains. So there's absolutely no reason the Voyage should have PTC trains. There's not a legitimate real world reason other than the fact is they can't figure out another train design that can handle the forces. And I don't know, there's just something about going through a world class top tier layout in a janky ass PTC train with seatbelts and a lap bar that just makes the roller coaster experience it's just crazy. It's just so crazy. And once again, Fury 325, the clamshell restraints, the best. I mean, just like I said, everything about Fury 325 is perfection. But then you take a roller coaster like the Voyage, and there's just a few things that aren't perfect that just make it better. I don't know. I don't. It's funny too because I even talk about that with Iron Gwazi, like it's so close to perfection, blah 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 blah. But the one complaint I do have about the Iron Gwazi is it does feel a little cookie cutter at the end of the day with the RMC. Like it's almost too perfect, right?
Yep.
The Voyage is like imperfect perfection. Like it's just, and there's rough spots and there's speed bumps, and then you're in that. And the other thing too is the terrain. To this day, I have been a terrain roller coaster enthusiast, even probably more so than you have. And the terrain that the Voyage traverses is just beautiful. I mean, it's all wooded. It's in the back of the park. There's nothing else around it other than the other roller coaster. It's just you're not in a tunnel for the whole entire roller coaster, but it almost feels like it, just with all the leaves and the foliage and stuff around you. And I absolutely love the Voyage. It's just a really, really good roller coaster. And then at the end of the day, it's a Woody. I think that's the other reason I put that over Fury 325. I wanted a Woody because I guess the RMCs on this list are half Woody, half steel. It's kind of a cheat. But I wanted a Woody up there with those coasters. And the Voyage really fit that bill. And I don't know. I could re-ride the Voyage all day, every day. I could re-ride Fury 325 all day, every day. Like these two coasters are very, very close. Don't get me wrong. But I felt like the Voyage was slightly more intense, which I do prefer more intense roller coasters. And then the definition of the Voyage is imperfect perfection is the way I'd like to say it. So it's just a really good roller coaster. And then just the whole, like, I take a lot into account, I think more than you do, about even like the parks they're at, and just everything from, the experience you get in the park. I like Holiday World over Carowinds. I
Mhm.
liked my experience there better. I like the location. I like the terrain. I like the fact that it is a smaller park and you can get more re-rides on it. Although I will say both times I was at Carowinds it was empty.
Hmm.
But just I the other thing too is like the Furious 325 is almost like the corporate. Like obviously now it's the whole Cedar Fair Six Flags chain
Mhm.
together where the Voyage is at this like mom and pop style amusement park where they give you a free soda. Okay, come on. What's not to love about that? Like, I don't know. I guess I take all that stuff into account when I do my roller coaster rankings, and that's why I put the Voyage over Fury.
Okay. All right. What's your question, Gabe?
My question to you is, let's see. Oh, Steel Curtain. Why is that in your top 15? Because I do not have Steel Curtain in my top 15. And obviously we talked about that last episode, but just kind of maybe compare it to the other ones,
Mm.
in that section, and kind of
Yes.
just let us know why that's there.
So I really freaking loved Steel Curtain. And part of the reason why it's in my list is so I was trying to figure out, I needed two extra coasters in game. Because, like I said, I kind of used his as a template. I needed two extra coasters because I haven't ridden Iron Gwazi and I haven't ridden Montu. So I had to come up and I was trying to figure out what else to put in here. I was really thinking about it and I'm like, really liked Steel Curtain. So I was actually going to slot it in at 15. But then I was thinking about it. I said this in the last episode, but something that I did to help me figure out where to put some of these coasters in my top 15, as I sat here and asked myself, if I had to pick one of, like, if I was comparing two, if I had to pick one of these coasters to just sit and ride 100 times, which one would I choose? And so I was like, because I was originally going to put Steel Curtain at number 15, but then I thought about it and I'm like, I would take Steel Curtain over Talon. Really, really liked Steel Curtain. And Talon is a really well-rounded roller coaster, but Steel Curtain really is too. And it's taller, it has a really good first drop, it's newer, so it's smooth as hell. Although Talon was really smooth too. But then the other one that I had was Cannibal, and I was like, I 100% would take Steel Curtain over Cannibal, and even Iron Rattler, I would take it over that one. So it also has the fact that, like Gabe said, it's at Kennywood, so we got a lot of re-rides. That's half of it. Like some of the roller coasters, if the park is really really busy, you don't get a lot of re-rides and stuff. I mean, when we went back to Cedar Point, it was so busy because of Siren's Curse and Top Thrill 2 that we only rode Maverick twice. Even with our flash passes, we got the like skip the line or whatever. So Steel Curtain we rode like a bajillion times and it was a really good experience. So and I really liked it. I liked all the inversions, I liked the pacing. It didn't feel, and it's like it's so unique in every little element that it puts into it. It doesn't feel repetitive. Feels like a different, you're doing something different throughout the entire layout. So that's why Steel Curtain makes my list.
Okay. I would like to say Steel Curtain was definitely one of those coasters I considered for that 15 spot. Just obviously Magnum is my boy, so.
All right. So let's have this debate because they're around the same area in both of our lists, but we have them flipped. So you put Goliath over Raging Bull, and I put Raging Bull over Goliath. So what makes that, like? Why do you put Goliath over Raging Bull?
Because Goliath's a Woody. No, honestly, at the end of the day, everybody forgets Goliath is a wooden roller coaster, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the best wooden roller coasters on this planet. And so, honestly, what it came down to, as I was doing my rankings, did I spell Goliath wrong? No, I
No.
didn't. Sorry, I had another ooh shiny moment.
Uh huh.
Um, so how I did my rankings is I did my top 10 wooden roller coasters.
Uh huh.
Goliath is a Woody, and I did my top 10. Actually, I think I did my top 15 steel coasters because there's just more of them.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going through, I was like, and I was really going back and forth on it. I'm like, Goliath is still the best coaster at Great America. As much as I love Raging Bull, and the other thing too is it has to do with my rewrites this summer. both coasters are just because at one point when I was building my top 15 before those re-rides, neither of them were in there. And it's just,
Oh.
I was like, there's just other coasters that are better. And then when I got back to Great America, I'm like, Goliath is even better than I remember. Then I rode Raging Bull, and I'm like, oh my God, this is even better than I remember. And it's just, I've always said Goliath's my favorite. And it's funny, me and you have always had that flip flopped. Like since we became roller coaster
Uh-huh.
enthusiasts, you always preferred Raging Bull, and I always preferred Goliath. And I think honestly, what it comes down to is the inversions, the fact that Goliath is technically a Woody, so that gives it like a little bit of a boost, in my
Mhm.
opinion. And then it's the stall. It's one of my all time favorite inversions. That zero G stall. There's nothing else like it. We always talk about all of the other ones don't compare to the Goliath zero G stall. And the first drop on Goliath is the only thing that I would be like, yeah, Raging Bulls is better.
Mhm.
Like everything else on Goliath is just that hair better. The other thing too is the dive loop. I love the dive loop on Goliath because you get that hang time and then you get, you dive towards the ground and then you get the zero G's, and it's just a very, very good layout. The only knock that Goliath has is that it feels short.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's a bad reason to not like a coaster. Like I feel like you're kind of digging for some reason to hate the ride. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if that makes sense. And it's just a very unique roller coaster, and it's just one I've always kind of. This is another coaster, Goliath. Like Maverick's one I talk about. Goliath's another one that really turned me into a roller coaster enthusiast and made me look at that roller coaster and go, "What is this? Who made this? How they built it?" You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
coaster that really sparked that a little bit of imagination in me, and I think that's why I always kind of hold it over Raging Bull a little bit.
Yeah, and see, for me, I really like the airtime on Raging Bull, and Gabe just said it's a bad reason, but that's one of the reasons I don't like life is because it feels short. But I will give it a roller coaster can be really great, even if it is short, if the elements it has are done very, very well. So you're like, it might be short, but it don't matter because what it did is just as good. So I think Raging Bull is just the nostalgia factor, and I've always loved that ride, and I really like the airtime on Raging Bull. So that's why I put it above Goliath.
All right, I think we have time for one more question each. Oh
Okay.
yeah, we've only got a half an hour in, so I guess this doesn't need to be a full hour, just because it's a very
Yeah,
simple episode.
it really is.
Um, okay, here's a good one that we haven't really talked about yet. Ravine Flyer 2. Okay. Well, why is that roller coaster in your top 15? And how in the hell do you put it over roller coasters like Top Thrill 2 and the two coasters we just talked about, Raging Bull and Goliath? I mean, I
I
also did, but I want to know why you did. Actually, I have. Hold on. So you have Ravine Flyer 2 over Top Thrill. I do
Uh-huh.
not.
Uh-huh.
And then both of us have Ravine Flyer 2 slotted in right behind Sky Rush and Maverick.
Yep.
So yeah, let's talk about that coaster. Why is it in your top 15 and why is it where it is?
So Ravine Flyer 2, part of that is just we did not know we were going to ride that roller coaster. And when we did, it absolutely freaking blew us out of the water. It was absolutely crazy. Now, Gabe said that he's more of a terrain coaster enthusiast than I am, but I'm not that far behind him. I've always loved the Beast at Kings Island because it was a terrain coaster, and that's what Ravine Fire 2 is it's a terrain coaster. It goes over a road, it has a bridge, it has great forces, and then on top of that, we rode Ravine Flyer 2 after we rode the Voyage. And now, obviously, these are two different coasters, but they're both by Gravity Group, and I just, oh my gosh, I cannot talk about this ride enough. We freaking loved this ride so much. And it has a really great mix of forces. It has ejector, it has floater, it has great pacing. It has like these really great drops, and it has tunnels, and you don't know where you're going, and it whips you all around. And Oh my gosh, it was just so much fun. I cannot sing the praises of this ride so much. I think with Sky Rush over Ravine Flyer, it's bigger, it has more intense forces. Sky Rush was freaking awesome. Sky Rush was amazing. And then so the new restraints aren't fabulous, but I also rode Sky Rush with the bad restraints. And these are still better than the other ones. So I think that helped Sky Rush move up in my rankings. And Ravine Flyer too. So like Raging Bull, the drop is better on Raging Bull. We'll say that to the ends of the earth. But overall experience, I like Ravine Flyer 2 better. And then I'll say this again and again. A lot of the times I just sat here and went, if I had to choose which one I'd want to ride 100 times in a row, Ravine Flyer 2. And then for me with Top Thrill 2, you've always liked Top Thrill better than I did. And like King Ka was on your top 15 for a little while. And I don't think Top
Rest in
Thrill,
peace, King
yeah.
Ka.
But Top Thrill, top original Top Thrill, and King to God, neither one of them made my top 15. So I always thought they were too short, and I thought it was a bit of a one trick pony. It was a launch. You had the top hat, and that was about it. Top Thrill 2 is definitely better. That could sit on my list, but I would take Ravine Flyer 2 over Top Thrill any day. And that's just me.
All right. You got one more question for me?
Yeah, sorry, I was coughing.
Don't
So
die. Don't die. Don't do that. It's too much paperwork. I'm not gonna explain that you died while I was talking to you on a podcast. That's a problem.
Well, if I really did die, the recording thing, as long as you don't stop it, would still be up.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, there you go. I'm giving you an alibi. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
So I joke that you're the cult leader for this ride. What do you love so much about Magnum?
Magnum. Okay, so if Iron Gwazi is the definition of a perfect roller coaster, Magnum is the definition of a absolutely terrible roller coaster. Everything about Magnum is bad. Like it's just not great. It's rough, it's janky, it's a super slow lift hill, the trains stink, the restraints suck. Everything about Magnum is just terrible. It's painful, people don't like it, like just not a good roller coaster, except for the fact that this roller coaster is 50 years old almost.
Mhm.
Like I just, when you take Magnum and you compare it to an Iron Gwazi or a Voyage or a Fury 325 or even a Maverick or a Sky Rush, everybody always asks me, why would you pick Magnum over that? I'm like, because the thing's 50 years old and it's still that good. Like even calling this roller coaster bad is like, well, yeah, but it's 50 years old. It's like, what do you want from it? What do you want from it? Like it's trying. The other thing too is that for every reason that somebody hates this roller coaster, I love it. It's like, yeah, it's a little rough and uncomfortable, but man, do I love that at a roller coaster. It's kind of the same case as the Voyage. It's like perfect imperfection. Like the other thing too is Magnum is the definition of a roller coaster with a soul. This is the coaster that made me think that like roller coasters could have like a personality or of feelings or like just like it can hear you talk to it. I mean, obviously now I'm starting to sound like I'm schizophrenic, but like I don't know. Magnum just has a soul, a personality. It's everything about roller coasters that really makes me love them.
Yeah.
And the other part of it too is I'm a history buff. I always have been, especially considering roller coasters. Magnum XL basically started the coaster wars. Mm-hmm. Without Magnum XL, Top Thrill doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. Without Magnum XL, you know, Goliath, Raging Bull, The Legend, all of the coasters that you see on my top 15 and your top 15 probably don't exist or, you know, exist in a much weaker world of roller coasters. And I think that's another reason why I hold Magnum XL so high. And then, okay, the end of Magnum XL in the magic seat, yes, it's painful. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it is absolutely wildly out of control. And I also love that about a roller coaster. Really good pacing, Very unique feeling just because it is that aero jankiness, but it's over 200 feet tall. Like, it's just, there's a lot of things about this roller coaster, like I said, where people don't like it. And that's why I love it so much, if that makes sense. The other thing, too, is I had a lot of coasters that I could have put in that number 15 spot. So I would just like to list them off here. Steel Curtain was one of them. Cannibal was one of them. Max Force, Yukon Striker, Pantheon, all coasters I considered for that spot. Shivering Timbers, Mystic
Oh.
Timbers, Phoenix at Knoebels.
Oh.
Very, very, very good roller coasters. Hades 360, what was in my number 15 spot, was still considered for that number 15 spot. And at the end of the day, Magnum makes it because it's so bad it's good. Like, that's really what it comes down to, is it's so bad it's good. It's a 50-year-old roller coaster. It's like that old grandpa where it's like, back in my day, we used to ride roller coasters with no seatbelts or restraint. Like, just that kind of energy, you know? And I don't know, for some reason, I really love that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. The argument that it's so bad it's good is a perfectly valid argument because they say that about certain movies. They're like, it's so
Yes.
bad it's good. It's fun to watch, you have a great time. So, and real quick, just like a side question, talk about the magic seat on Magnum. Because it's a
Yes.
weird one. It's not
It
like
is
the
a
back
weird one.
row or something.
So the magic seat on Magnum is the third row of the first train. So it essentially is the third row of the roller coaster.
Uh-huh.
I do know that it also is left or right. I just always forget which side's actually better.
Uh-huh.
But in my opinion, there's not that much of a difference. That whole row is really good. Honestly, the whole first car, because we rode it in the very front row.
Yeah.
And it still kind of had the same effect, just not nearly as intense. But on that return trip, as you're hitting those bunny hills, it just absolutely, like, what's the word? There's a word. I don't want to say, like, you know how, like, ejector seats in, like, a plane would work? Like, you hit the button and it shoots you out of the plane, like in a fighter jet. That's essentially what it does to you, but like 20 times. Like, it is just like ejector seat just slammed into the restraint. And that's why some people consider it painful, because let's be honest, here it is. This is a coaster you're not going to re-ride like 100 times. You might re-ride it once. Like, you might get 2 rides on it total, and then you're like, all right, my thighs are bruised and I'm not very happy about it. But I love Magnum XL for every reason I hate Steel Vengeance. And the two biggest differences is Steel Vengeance doesn't have that soul feeling to it. And Steel Vengeance is also a modern roller coaster that should be comfortable. Magnum is, at the end of the day, not a modern roller coaster.
No.
Like, it's not. It just isn't. And there's no reason that you should compare it to, like, comfortability wise, to a modern roller coaster. And that's another thing I talk about here. You have to look at coasters in the day and age that they were built.
Yeah.
And this coaster being built in the 80s, like, keep in mind, Sam, they're like, let's compare some roller coasters they were building in the 80s. American Eagle was built in the 80s. The Beast was built in the late 70s. Gemini was built. Was it built in the 80s or the 70s?
Let me look it up real quick. Gemini. If I could type. 78.
Yeah, so late 70s, early 80s. You know, let's look at some of the mine trains were really big back then. The aero loopers were just blowing up. Like, if you take the 80s and you compare it to a Magnum, you're like, this coaster should not exist.
There is no reason it should have been built when it was built.
No, and especially by Aero of all manufacturers. like it just shouldn't be on this planet. And that's another reason why I just love Magnum so much, because when you look at it in the time period that it was built, it is insane what they did with this ride. It really is. So with that being said, yeah, I love Magnum. I don't know. I might even move it up now. I'm debating. Let's see. I could move it up to 13. I could
see. You would take it over the Legend.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I could definitely see.
That's the thing. It's like, I love Magnum, but I love the legend.
Oh, you freaking love
I
the
love
legend.
the Montu. Montu is another one that's at 14. I'm not an invert guy. Never have been, never will be. Montu is so good.
Uh-huh.
So good. It is one of the most intense coasters on this planet. Like, just crazy good. We need to get you on Montu. Montu for you. Like, if I had to take Montu, I bet. Let's see. Let's see if you would agree on this. I would put Montu, if I was ranking it with your brain, I would put it probably right here. That's where I think you would put it on your top 15. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, especially the way
At
that
at
you talk
number
about
6?
Montu. Yeah, because
Yeah, because
Montu is.
you love inverts.
Oh, I do.
Like
And
I definitely think you would like Montu over. See, Maverick's the one where I questioned it, but I think you would like Montu over Skyrush. You would like Montu over Ravine, definitely over Top Thrill, definitely over Raging Bull. Yeah, I think that's where you'd end up putting it.
dang.
If you got the
And
same ride experience I got on it. That's the
yeah.
thing. Obviously, we've discussed that already, that it does change, over the years.
Yeah.
But I really do think that's where you would put it, is at number 6.
Well,
Somewhere
and
between El Toro and Maverick.
with Montu, it's at Busch Gardens Tampa, right?
Yes.
So it also, I put more stake in the theming, and I know it has an Egyptian theme, and I freaking love Egyptian theme. So that would also give it extra points.
Yeah, the other unique thing about Montu is its location/setting, because the reason Montu is so good is because they literally, instead of building the
Yeah.
roller coaster up, they dug holes in the ground. So the first drop is not small either. It's taller than Batman.
Dang.
And then, so it's taller than Batman, but then it's also lower than Batman, if that makes sense. And it just
Uh-huh.
absolutely rips your face off. It flies through that layout. The pacing is insane. The intensity, the G-forces are all insane. This is another coaster where you get off Montu and you're like, what just happened? I have no idea. I have no clue what just happened to me. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just that, like, fast-paced roller coaster, and it's just that intense that you can't keep track of where you're going sometimes. Like, I had to ride it like 3 times to actually, like, figure out the layout. Like,
Yep.
just because it's that rapid fire. Just for me, the reason Montu isn't higher is just because I'm not a huge invert guy. I don't know.
Yeah. I love inverts, and I really love Batman. But I discussed this about Talon, why Talon's on my list and not Batman. The first time I got off it, I was like, no, Batman's still better. And then we wrote it a second time, and I'm like, dang it, this is better than Batman. So it would be really interesting to get a ride on Montu, and we both need to get down to Florida in general. There's
Yes,
a
that
lot of
is
roller
very true.
coasters down there that we both need to ride.
Velocicoaster, the coasters at SeaWorld, or Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, another coaster that has really good theming that you probably love. Mako, the B&M Hyper at SeaWorld Orlando, that is
Uh-huh.
supposed to be really, really good. One of the best hypers out there. And then obviously Busch Gardens for you to get on Gwazi, Montu. Another one there that you probably really like is Kumba. It's another B&M sit down with a lot of
Oh.
inversions. It's also very intense. I found it to be kind of when I rode it, but a lot of people Kumba is another one of those coasters that's very diversive.
Okay.
Like, some people really, really love it. Some people don't. I was kind of in that don't category. Cheetah Hunt. That's another really good
Uh-huh.
family coaster that has good theming. I also didn't get to ride Cheetah Hunt with the water feature active. So
Oh.
I do know that changes the experience. Basically, there's a section where you shoot up a river,
Huh.
but when I
That's
was there,
cool.
the water was off, so I didn't even get to
Oh.
experience that part of it. They also have a dive coaster there, Sharika, that's really good. And they have a very unique coaster, Cobra's Curse, that I would really like to get you on. It's, oh God, how do I explain this coaster? It's like 3 coasters in one, because it has an elevator lift hill, then it has a normal lift hill. Part of it's forward, part of it's backwards, part of it spins.
Oh my
Like, it's just
gosh.
it's a very unique kind of awkward, strange roller coaster. It's not crazy intense. It's supposed to, like, it's designed to be another family coaster. It kind of reminds me of like a steel version of the Lost Coaster Superstition Mountain almost. Like just a very
Oh.
strange roller coaster.
Yeah.
But it has some pretty interesting theming too that I think you'd really like.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I really want to go to Florida, Gabe.
I know. Well, maybe we can make something work after the first of the year.
Right? All right.
So
Are
I
we
gotta save my money first. So once I
right?
get to that point, maybe I can start spending it again. But
Okay. I suppose does that kind of wrap up our top 15s?
I think that does.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about our schedule?
Yes. So after this episode, we have a couple of battles episodes coming up. Our first one is the second best ride in their park. And the idea here is that there are lots of what are the second best ride in a park that are still really, really good. And if you kind of plucked them out and put them anywhere else, they might potentially be a number one. Or besides that, maybe they're just really good and we want to talk about them. So that's where that one comes from. And then episode 6 is coasters that have moved up in rankings for 2025. So this is really good to do after our top 15s because I'm talking about one that moved up in my top 15. And Gabe is talking about one that we've kind of had an opinion. And
Yeah.
honestly, in
Yeah, very
recent
much
years,
so.
recent years it's gotten better. So that'll be a fun episode.
Yeah, the cool thing about Sam's coaster too that we're going to be talking about is the last time we talked about it, I had not ridden it,
Yeah.
and this time I have. So that would also be an interesting new perspective just to have both our opinions on that roller coaster.
Yes. So, and then after that, we have a special episode where we're going to talk about 100-year-old coasters. Because believe it or not, we've ridden quite a few of them now.
Yeah, that is true. That'll be a really fun episode too, just talking about some roller coaster history there and some of the ones that we've been on.
Absolutely. So, with that, everybody.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
1 second. So this episode, the one we're recording right now, our special episode, New Top 15s, this will come out on the 12th of December, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means the episode 5 Battles episode, second best ride in their park, will come out on the 19th of December.
Okay.
After that is when our break is going to be.
Okay.
So after that episode, just for our listeners, when that comes out for the 26th of December, you will not get an episode. And for the 2nd of January, you will also not get an episode. That does not mean we're done. That does not mean we quit. That's just our little break period we talked about at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Just because Christmas and New Year's is always a very busy time for us. I'm sure you'll probably be traveling back and forth from where you're at now back home.
Yep.
And it's just just a time for us to get a little break in here. That being said, episode 6, coasters that moved up in rankings for 2025, the one we were just talking about, that will come out on the 9th of January. We promise to release that episode on the 9th of January, and that'll basically kick off the second half of season 2. And then after that, you'll get the 100-year-old coaster. That'll come out on the 16th of January, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you guys a little heads up. At the end of December here, there's going to be 2 weeks where you won't get an episode. That's just our little break period. That way we can either get a episode backlog going, or if we get to that point and we have no episodes left recorded, we have a break period in there so where we can catch up. Yep. So it's just for our sake. Once again, this is not our full-time job, so please don't hate us.
Yep. Right.
It's just a little break period for us, just to kind of ease into the new year. So
exactly. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Join us next week for the battle episode on second best ride in their park. And thank you for listening.
And I hope you all have a great day.